ArcGIS 10.1 really improves the modeling, analysis, and visualization capabilities of ArcGIS, improved performance, enhanced editing, and a number of other things, analytical capabilities. Something else just happened with 3D at Esri. This is what Jack announced this morning, which is that a very extraordinary group of talented people in Switzerland have joined Esri, and they have a product called CityEngine. This is really an amazing product. It's a whole different way of creating lifelike, realistic landscapes. But this is also done in a whole design context. I think I better just have Gert van Maren show us how this really works. Gert?
Thanks, Dean. With the 10 release, ArcGIS became a complete system for 3D GIS. And the response we got from users has been very positive. The #1 comment we got from them, though, was, we would love to go 3D, but we mainly have 2D data. How can we generate high-quality 3D data? Well, let me show you Esri CityEngine. As Dean mentioned, and Jack mentioned this morning, CityEngine is a new product offering by Esri, and it allows you to take your existing GIS data, apply procedural rules to generate 3D content. Here we have CityEngine with building footprints coming from ArcGIS, can be as a shapefile or as a file geodatabase, and we have attribute values such as, for example, building height. Now I can select all my building footprints and apply a rule. Now a rule is basically a script file that tells the software how to generate the 3D content based on your GIS data. And in this case, we want to have 3D buildings, and we're using the height attribute that we saw earlier to generate a simple extrusion, and then we're applying generic textures. If, however, we have more information available in our GIS data, such as number of floors, floor height, or roof type, the software can take that extra information into account to improve the quality of your 3D buildings. And if you then want to further modify or edit your 3D buildings, you either go back to ArcGIS and change your attributes, reapply the rules, or change the rules directly in CityEngine. So for example, I can change the roof type, and I can also generate a higher level of detail for this building if I want that. And if you already have invested in as-built 3D models, you can load those into your city scene as well. I can also drag in street center lines, and I can apply a rule to generate high-quality 3D streets. So in this case, I'm using the width attribute in the GIS data to drive the width of these 3D streets. And to note, I mean, the base data in this example here is only street center lines and polygons coming from ArcGIS. So this highlights a key feature, a value proposition, if you like, that Jack mentioned earlier this morning as well. CityEngine is a great 3D content creator, allows you to easily generate 3D urban content based on existing data that you already have. But there is more. CityEngine is also a great 3D design tool. Let's look at this empty area here in the middle of our city. I have parcel data with attributes such as maximum building height, building offset, and building setbacks. I can then apply an urban planning rule that will generate me 3D massing models that reflect the planning regulation, the local planning regulations. And I can then further fine-tune my design by changing rule parameters. So for example, I can change the distance to the parcel boundary. I can change the building height. and I can enable the setbacks and change the setback distance. And you see the model updates instantly. Now, one great feature of CityEngine is that it supports so-called styles. And a style is basically a set of predefined rule parameters that make it really easy to switch between different design scenarios. So I'm selecting this style here, apply, and the software generates this me on the fly. And again, the base data in your GIS database is only the parcel information with its attribute values, and CityEngine with the rules generates this content on the fly. Now, to finish off my design, I want to add a street. I can simply create and draw a street, and you'll notice that the rule is automatically applied. And then what I need to do is I need to change the width of my street because I want to have it fit in between the buildings. So I change the width and also the sidewalk width. And then actually, I want it to be a footpath rather than a street. So simply drag and drop a footpath rule onto my newly designed footpath. And what you notice here now is that I did draw my street straight across my main roadway. And what I can then simply do is I can drag it up and the software will automatically generate a bridge in this location. So this is done purely procedural, no manual modeling involved. Now once I'm done creating and designing in CityEngine, I can bring back that design into ArcGIS for visualization in a larger geographic extent. I can go to any place, this is our globe that you're seeing here now, and do a drive-by. Or I can take that same design that I just did, take it back into ArcScene, and do a 3D analysis. For example, what I want to know is the shadow impact of these new buildings on this street here. So new at 10.1, we have a shadow volume tool, and you can just simply run it, and then it's time enabled, and you can see how the shadow on this particular day is going to affect that street. So, at this conference, we're happy to announce the new release of CityEngine. It's CityEngine 2011, and it already has some great GIS capabilities. It has support for the file geodatabase. It has support for projections. And over the next couple of months, we will further integrate the capabilities of CityEngine and ArcGIS, and this will enable anybody in need of high-quality 3D content, such as urban planners, urban designers, facilities managers, users in the defense and simulation industry, to easily create and design in 3D. Thank you.